To our Honourable Minister of Public Infrastructure and Land Transport. Whether in regard to the Metro Express, he will state A, the name of the subcontractor who effected the survey of underground pipes using a ground-penetrating radar indicating when same was effected. B, the assistance being provided to residents and businesses wishing to claim compensation for inconveniences, losses suffered in the wake of the implementation thereof. C, the progress made in the construction of urban terminals as at D, if he will now table a full copy of the Environment Impact Assessment Report carried out by Singapore Corporation Enterprise in relation thereto.
Madam Speaker, in reply to previous PNQs relating to the Metro Express project, I have had the opportunity of highlighting that the Metro Express is the most complex infrastructure project embarked upon in our country. And I also explained the different stages which have been carried out for the implementation of this project. Following various studies carried out, it was concluded that the light rail transit system is the most effective solution to address the modernization of the public transport sector. And the Singapore Corporation Enterprise, as far back as 2012, was entrusted with the task of carrying out the business case and the reference design of the project. Those different stages were transport planning and modeling, review of selection of technological options, reference design, concept and preliminary design to allow the release of expression of interest, economic impact, costing, economic and financial appraisal, and the procurement activities. Thereafter, the services of SCE were enlisted for transaction advisory management services for the procurement and potential implementation of the MLRT project. The SCE also assisted in the preparation of the request for proposal and considered a number of issues like the socio-economic impact, noise and vibration, air quality, the geotechnical soils and contamination, hydrology, utility services, heritage, and ecology. These requirements were subsequently incorporated in the Environmental Management and Sustainability Plan for the contractor. Following award of the contract, before embarking on the construction sites, Larsen & Toubro carried out the following: geotechnical investigation, topographical survey, condition survey, utilities mapping, and traffic assessment. Madam Speaker, it is clear that all necessary requirements, including technical, engineering, or otherwise, have been fulfilled, and the required technical and environmental parameters have been complied with to ensure that the project is being carried out in the best possible condition. Regarding mapping and procedures, the utilities identification and mapping was done in 3 stages. Drawings of existing locations from various utility providers like WMA, CWA, CB, and telecom, etc. Trenching of about 3 to 3.5 meters deep at frequent intervals at about 50 meters along the corridor and specifically at bridge and flyover foundations, and use of GPR, the ground penetration radar scan, to identify utilities which are correlated with the number of first stage and the second stage data in case of certain limitations in scanning. Based on the position of utilities with respect to the metro corridor, the diversion plans for the various utilities are planned and get approved from the utilities providers to do the diversion. This ensures that the metro corridor is vacated of utilities prior to start of works. With regards to Part K of the question, the subcontractor appointed by Larsen & Toubro for the identification of utilities using the ground penetration radar was Labolink Limited Mauritius in collaboration with the technical know-how of Geophysical Survey Systems of the United States of America. These companies are specialized in utilities identification. This agency was identified from a selection of a total of 5 agencies, namely 3 from Mauritius, GeoCrust, Labolink and Gibbs, and 2 from India. Labolink was chosen because they were technically responsive and commercially within range of Indian agencies and of comparable international standards. Labolink was already partnering with Frankie Pyle for the geotechnical investigation for the metro and was found to be competent and effective. The ground penetrating radar, which is the latest technology, was used for the identification of utilities from the 29th of November to the 24th of February, November 2017, to the 24th of February 2018 for the stretch between Rosehill to Port Louis. The machine was imported and reached Mauritius on the 18th of November 2017. RITES and Singapore Corporation Enterprise were fully satisfied that the mapping was done successfully and that the mapping was done as per the norms. The other part of the question relating to claims, Madam Speaker, I said that in view of the complexity of the project, everything is being done on a day-to-day basis to see that all those who are concerned and affected using social media to inform people, businesses about the works. We know that some businesses have been affected because of access during the construction period. Insofar as issues that potential loss of revenue is concerned, the upgrading of the surroundings to the new infrastructure will bring as soon as possible that the plane is running in an improved business-friendly environment. As per November 2018, we have had a total of 38 complaints for the whole stretch and 22 relating to Rosehill and Berkeley. Claims for compensation, there has been one claim of 10 million from 9 residents of the Virginal streets and 4 other claims from businesses. As for the small businesses affected by the works along the Metro Express alignment, one of the main concerns is reduced accessibility to their premises. The contractor, Compass, has ensured that tailor-made access are being provided and maintained for all businesses along the work site throughout the works with due regards to safety aspects for the users. Any complaints, what I have said, that all complaints should be addressed to Larsen & Toubro, Metro Express, and to my office to be addressed, and so that there is a better coordination. And legal advisors on both sides of Metro Express and Larsen & Toubro will consider the cases as they are being. The first case is the case of 10 million, and the lawyers of Larsen & Toubro are addressing this issue, Madam Speaker. As regards to part C of the question, I would like to highlight that the Metro Express project is not a standalone project. It is being accompanied with the regeneration of the whole urban area between Cupip and Port Louis. Together with an investment of 18.8 billion for the Metro Express, the urban terminal projects will involve an investment of over 10 billion from the private sector. Furthermore, it will generate substantial economic activities and new job opportunities. In my reply to PQ B367 on the 15th of May, I informed the House that with the advent of the Metro Express project, the need for modern, safe, secure, integrated urban terminals had become imperative, Madam Speaker. In this respect, government decided to embark on the redevelopment and modernization of the Port Louis-Cupip corridor, namely the Victoria and Immigration Square terminals in Port Louis, Place Margeu in Rosehill, stations in Quatre-Bornes, Fakwa, and Yanpalak in Cupip. The terminals will have some common features: a modern and visually aesthetic urban terminal, office spaces, hawkers and commercial areas, parking facilities, green space, taxi stands, pedestrian link between the terminals. And as regards to the Victoria Urban Terminal, Madam Speaker, following a request for proposal, a consortium led by Transinvest Construction has been selected and a letter of notification of award has already been issued. The consortium has progressed significantly on the detailed design, and works are scheduled to start beginning of January 2019 for a duration of 2 years. During the construction period, arrangements have been made for the relocation of hawkers operating at Dika. Furthermore, a holding area is being provided for buses to wait during the idle time, and alternative arrangements are being made for the relocation of taxis. As regards to the Immigration Urban Terminal, after a request for proposal exercise, a company, namely Yihai International Investment Management Limited, has been selected and a letter of notification has been issued. In view of the fact that part of the site is located in the buffer zone of the Apravasi Ghat, UNESCO clearance is being sought through the Ministry of Arts and Culture. In this context, a master plan incorporating all major developments in Port Louis have been finalized in consultation with all the stakeholders, including the Apravasi Ghat Trust Fund. A presentation of the master plan has been made to Cabinet on last Friday, 23rd of November. The preliminary design of the project, together with the Port Louis Development Master Plan, have been sent to UNESCO for their views and clearance. Should everything proceed smoothly, because we have taken into consideration all the different aspects of the PPG 6, that is the policy guidelines, the Immigration Urban Terminal project is expected to start early next year for a duration of 2 years. As per the implementation program of the Yihai International Investment Management Limited, works at Immigration Square will be carried out in 2 phases. Phase 1, the first 9 months, that is implementation of the bus terminal and the hawkers area. Phase 2, remaining 15 months, implementation of remaining facilities, including office space, parking facilities, and a hotel. The company would be making arrangements for the hawkers to continue to operate in their existing location and the buses to pick up and alight passengers on site during the construction period. My ministry is providing an alternative site for the holding of buses during their waiting period. As regards to the remaining urban terminals, same are being implemented at the level of the Ministry of Local Government and Outer Islands in collaboration with my ministry. I'm informed by the Ministry of Local Government that the Rosehill Urban Terminal, a request for proposal has been launched. However, the exercise was not successful as there was no responsive bidder because there was one factor missing. It was about the rent to be able to put up a business plan. The Municipal Council of Bobasa Rosehill is currently in the process of reviewing its requirement with the view of relaunching the RFP. Madam Speaker, the 3 other urban terminals, namely Katwabon, Vakwa, Cupip, will need to be operational by the time the second phase of the Metro Express project is implemented, and I'm informed that consultative meetings are being held with relevant stakeholders to work out the requirements, including land and space for each terminal. An RFP in respect of each terminal will be launched soon, and the duration of works will be 2 years. Madam Speaker, in regard to part D of the question, I invite the honourable members to refer to my reply made to PNQ on the 9th of November 2018, whereby I informed the House that, first, I had made a request to Metro Express to lay a copy of the request for proposal, especially the part relating to environmental mitigating measures made to Afscons and to Larsen & Toubro. Second, I had requested Larsen & Toubro to give a copy of the environmental management plan of Larsen & Toubro. Third, I had made a request to Metro Express to consider the Metro Express board to consider the possibility of laying the full EIA report on the table of the National Assembly. Accordingly, the relevant extract of the RFP and the EMP have been laid on the table of the National Assembly. During my reply to PNQ on the 9th of November, I had laid a copy of the executive summary of the EIA report on the table of the National Assembly. Upon the recommendations of the Board of Directors of MEL, Government has decided that the full EIA report should not be released to the public or laid before the National Assembly for the following reasons. First, in March 2017, the Metro Express project had been delisted from the list of undertakings requiring the EIA by way of regulations under the EIA Protection Amendment Regulation 2017. With the delisting of the Metro Express project, there was no legal requirement for Metro Express to undertake an EIA. However, Government has agreed to Metro Express conducting a thorough EIA so that its finding could be used as an additional measure of environmental protection during the construction phase of the project over and above the environment management and sustainability plan submitted by Larsen & Toubro. Therefore, the EIA is an internal working document. Phase 1 of the Metro Express will be operational by September 2019. The request for proposal, especially the part relating to environmental management and sustainability as employers' requirement, elaborate on the minimum requirements which should be met. The environmental management plan describes how health, safety and environment issues will be addressed and managed during the project implementation and later during the operation. The consultants, RITES, Singapore Corporation Enterprise and Metro Express are closely monitoring the execution of the works in accordance with the employer's requirements, including the EIA, which is being operationalized through an environmental management and sustainability system plan. Madam Speaker, the Metro Express project will transform the socio-economic landscape of this country. Yesterday, there was a page of history written with the laying of the rails. As the Prime Minister said yesterday at the ceremony, Metro Express will be the spine of the smart society we want to shape to improve the quality of life of the population, to create new growth opportunities and to propel Mauritius with the League of High-Income Economies. I will make an appeal to the Leader of the Opposition and members on the other side of the House to see to it that this project is implemented in the best conditions. And there's no secrecy. And the teams of experts working on this project are the best in their respective fields. The constructor Larsen & Toubro is a world-renowned company that has implemented rail projects in India, Middle East, elsewhere. I've finished. We are endowing our country with, I'm finishing, with one of the best systems, Madam Speaker. Therefore, I am very open, we are open. We are open to all proposals, and many honorable members have made comments to me, claims to me, complaints to me. I have attended to them. There is 5 meetings every week to monitor each 100 meter. Madam Speaker, let me just give you one example. For 1 kilometer of metro, which costs 1 billion, you have 4 kilometers of utilities, of water, of electricity, of wastewater, of telephone system. And we have done over 12 kilometers. And there is a close monitoring by rights. A close monitoring by rights as per the contract of supervision, and a close monitoring for Metro Express by Singapore Corporation Enterprise, which designed the reference design and which is now supervising the works. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Trust that you will give me some extra time, given the length of the reply. Madam Speaker, this is one of the worst.
The Minister has exceeded his time limit by 1 minute.
Madam Speaker, this is one of the worst planned and worst executed projects in the history of Mauritius. Let me start with this ground-penetrating radar. Larsen & Toubro was appointed in July 2017. So how can he being appointed in July 2017 and this exercise done in early 2017 when, in fact, I will table this, Madam Speaker, in September 2017, this same Larsen & Toubro issued a tender, floated a tender, for a subcontractor to effect a ground-penetrating radar exercise and in fact appointed no one because of the cost. This was in September 2017. So obviously they were not happy with whatever had been done before.
No, Madam Speaker, there are different stages. You have the trenching inspection. Then they had the inspection as per all the details which were given by the WMA, Mauritius Telecom. We have understood that the mapping of utilities, the shifting of utilities is the most tedious exercise in this first stage. And this is what has been done. And there is something else, Madam Speaker. The utilities, there is a budget of 450 million to renew the utilities, which means that with the metro, the utility system are going to be better. We ended up with water pipes which were 70 years old. We ended up with sewerage pipes which were made of cement. We are correcting all this. What did Larsen & Toubro do? There was a survey which was carried out by Singapore Corporation Enterprise. Then there was the request for proposal. Then you had all the reference design and you had all the networks on paper. Then you had to correlate what was on paper with what was on the terrain. So they did it with the trenching themselves for every 50 meters. After that, they came with this exercise, but last time the leader of the opposition, what did he say? He said that this was not done. He said so in Parliament. He said that this was not done. Then I came and I said, no, this was done. And I'm going now to provide this is the machine which is being used. It is the best machine in the world, Madam Speaker. It comes from the United States. Second, there was a report, which is the geophysical survey report from Rosehill to Port Louis. This was submitted on the 31st of May 2018, and it was supervised by Singapore Corporation Enterprise and by rights. I'm laying another copy of this report as well. So if the Honourable Leader of the Opposition wants these documents, he can always consult them. Yes.
Speaker, I maintain that Larsen & Toubro has not done any mapping by GPR. Madam Speaker, I'll now come to the issue of compensation. In the House here, a few days ago, the Honourable Minister mentioned that he will provide assistance, etc., A lot of excuses even being given now by the Prime Minister to all these people who have suffered. Even today, yesterday, Madam Speaker, dirty sewage has been flooding all houses in Servier-Gilnaz. Businesses are running out of business, are closing down. There is a lot of disturbance to the residents by the noise, and to the businesses, and to this flooding by dirty water, Madam Speaker. Now, he mentioned that they would, we had understood in the House, listen with a sympathetic ear to the claims made by the people affected. However, Madam Speaker, is the Minister aware that on the 23rd of November, the attorneys for Larsen and Toubro, that is Mr. J.K. Gajadar, flatly replied to these people who have claimed 10 million rupees. And this is the last paragraph, Madam Speaker, and I will table this. And this is what the Larsen and Toubro says through their attorney, that they deny being indebted to the hereunder named parties in the sums claimed, or in any sum at all. So this is why I'm asking the Honourable Minister, what is the advice being given, what is the assistance being given to the people of Rosil and Beaubassin who are presently affected, and to the other people who will be affected by the works?
Madam Speaker, I will correct for Servier-Gilnaz. There was, because of the rain, there was a small overflow which was addressed in few hours. I have photographs here. I think we should bring photographs because the leader of the opposition brings them as well. The second thing, Madam Speaker, is how many complaints we have had. In all, there have been 38 complaints, out of which 22 regarding Rosil and Berkeley. The Berkeley complaints, I have addressed them personally. And there are still one or two cases, and Honorable Bhagwan has impressed on me to be able to address those cases, and I am addressing those cases. We had a meeting, now we have found some solutions. When it comes to the businesses, there is one claim of 10 million. I think that the lawyer has asked for particulars about the 10 million. Now, from what I understand, Larsen and Toubro has decided to have, has chosen its legal advisors to address the issue. Metro Express, that's why I said the claim should be given to Metro Express, to Larsen and Toubro, and to my ministry, because I said I'm going to personally see what can be done. We have to be fair, but it has to be genuine. So we will do what is genuine and what is fair, Madam Speaker, and we'll do it in the light of what we have in the contract.
The attorney for Larsen and Toubro had a choice of negotiating with these people, calling them and talking to them. Instead, they have flatly denied saying to these people who have suffered because of the fault of government, because of the fault of Larsen and Toubro, to go to court and go to hell, and in 10 years' time to come for some money. This is what you're doing, and I'm tabling this, Madam Speaker.
I said that the claims will be considered. Larsen and Toubro will do what it has to do as per the contract. Metro Express will do as per the contract. My ministry will see to it that there is fairness and genuineness in the claim.
Why didn't you see to it that there was fairness in this 10 million rupees? Are you aware just that they have been flatly denied any compensation at all? Answer for the 10 million rupees. There are, I think, about 8 claimants here. What have you done in that particular case, please?
From what I have understood, they have requested particulars of the 10 million to explain how do we reach a sum of 10 million.
Have flatly denied the claim. I'm tabling this, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I don't want to the denial for publication of the full EIA report. And I will treat this as extremely serious, because this EIA summary, Madam Speaker, speaks a lot. And it says on the last page that the risks assessed concerning the potential construction were assessed at medium to very high for all the 8 assessment screens, and that this EIA study proposes mitigation measures. It's in here. Mitigation measures so that the risk be reduced from medium to very high, not high, very high, to low risk and medium risk. This is important for the public who are paid for this report, for the report to have been made, I presume, in the interest of the public, for the public to be aware what are the mitigation measures that the EIA report is asking for, so that everyone will know that Arsene Toubre is doing his job. And this is what I'm asking for the Minister to publish fully the EIA report.
The Environment Management Plan of Larsen & Toubro considers all the mitigation measures that have to be taken. We have, on the part of government, as a benchmark, decided that we'll have an EIA. I laid on the table of the National Assembly an executive summary. All that has been done in the EIA have been factored into this Environment Management Plan with the collaboration of RITES and SC, because SC did both. They did the reference design, they did the request for proposal as regards to mitigating measures, and they did the EIA report, Madam Speaker.
And they are doing the work, Madam Speaker. This is why it is so important. I'm asking the Minister again, if there's nothing to hide, why is the EIA report paid for by the public being hidden from the public so that the public knows whether Larsen & Toubro, who seems to be the chef d'orchestre in this thing, are actually, we know that they are actually abiding, and that we do not face, as we are facing Rosil, with the very high risk with the construction.
Madam Speaker, I explained that for 12 kilometers of railway, we have 50 kilometers of utilities. 50% of the works have already been done. 150 piles have already been erected. And the structural works, civil engineering works, will end in a few months. In March, everything was going to be clean, and the trains are going to come in June, Madam Speaker. All this has been done. We had 2 incidents. I agree, we are saddened. The Prime Minister said so, I said so. We are saddened that this happened. But there was 1 incident. And now we have taken all the decisions. I said I will ask Larsen & Toubro RITES and Metro Express to revisit what I had a meeting on this issue about the mapping of utilities, the shifting of utilities, the reinstatement of utilities. Madam Speaker, when you have a road and you have a water pipe servicing the household on both sides, and there is a problem in the system, we break the road. But we can't do that with the railway. So we are setting up a system on both sides to be able to service the households. So we are making a better infrastructure. There is a number of risks in such a project. You just have to go to Place Margéo to understand what it is to lay the sewerage pipe at 7 meters, Madam Speaker. The risk is there. But we have to see to it that we contain the risk. Today, the matter was addressed in a few hours. We have to learn from what happened in Place Margéo. But that doesn't mean that what happened in Place Margéo has been happening from Port Louis to Place Margéo all the time.
Madam Speaker, this morning there were lots of lorries and washing all the excrement from the houses, and I'm going to table a copy of pictures taken yesterday at Servier-Ginaz, Madam Speaker. I want to ask the Honourable Minister whether the people of Rosil should still now boil water, or is that still the case? Did you verify? Or can they now drink this happily and boil whatever rubbish is in the water and it will be safe?
I'm speaking on the correction of the CWA. I have not been told that there is any problem with the water.
Care to check from last week's 2 weeks P&Q?
I think that there were there any problem. I think the Deputy Prime Minister would have. The CWA were there when we were writing this answer, and this question arose, and they said there is nothing wrong.
You mentioned that you would find out following the communique of the Ministry of Health. Did you find out?
I did find out.
And do we still need to boil the water in Bobassa and Rosil?
No, there is no need to boil. We said the boiling of the water was for precaution.
Madam Speaker, I want to come now to the terminals. Now we understand that we are 300 days away from the opening of the so-called of the Metro Express, and now no terminal yet, urban terminal net under construction. Rosil the tender hasn't even been given, and so we are going to operate for about a year or 2 without urban terminals. What are the contingency plans?
Madam
Before
Speaker.
you reply, I'll draw the attention of the Honourable Leader of Opposition that 2 minutes.
Madam Speaker.
2 minutes.
Madam Speaker, the Honourable Leader of the Opposition, as Minister of Finance, was proposing to implement a project of Metro Express, LRT, for above 30 billion. For 34 billion with money on a line of credit. And the project then, he's making a big difference between the terminal and the station. The stations will be ready. The terminals or the city in which the station is going to be, Madam Speaker. We came with the idea. We came with the idea of the terminals. We came with the idea of asking private investment to make cities where the train is going to enter, providing better location for the hawkers. We came with 10 billion rupees of investment, Madam Speaker. The stations are going to be ready. This is what you had in mind. The stations are going to be there where the trains are coming. But what I'm saying, the terminals are cities. The terminal of Victoria is 1.9 billion rupees of investment. The terminal at Immigration Square is 2.9 billion rupees of investment. And the whole is 10 billion rupees of investment, Madam Speaker. It's not stations. The stations are going to be ready. Don't worry about that.
Madam Speaker, this is the worst plan ever. The worst plan ever. Madam Speaker, in Beaubassin, at 2 meters from the roundabout, I understood now there are going to be traffic surveys done to see what will happen to Beaubassin roundabout with the train going every 1.5 minutes, not every 3 minutes. I'd like to ask Honourable Minister whether he talked about the previous report. I was always in favor of the busway, like the World Bank, by the way, not what you're saying. What I'm saying, Madam Speaker, is this. Why don't we resort, even at this late hour, and this is the best advice I can give him, to elevate the Metro Express at the Beaubassin roundabout, otherwise Beaubassin will be total chaos as from September 2019 and before, as it is now because of the construction.
Madam Speaker, first of all, the trains are not coming every one minute or 90 seconds. They are coming every 7 minutes. I know also that Beaubassin roundabout is a strategic position. There have been TIAs in the past, but traffic is a dynamic situation, Madam Speaker. The traffic today and the next year, the number of vehicles, the way people travel, so we have to update the traffic assessment. This is what we are doing, and I will like to reassure the Leader of the Opposition that we are taking all the measures I am personally considering to have this roundabout of Beaubassin taken care of with all the attention, skill and expertise that we need, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, to end up, I would like to say something. We have reached yesterday a fundamental phase in this metro project. We are left with 3 months of civil and structural works. And then we will clear everything. And people will see the sophistication of the society that we want to build, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Time is over.